I survived 100 days in Jurassic World, and it's like totally crawling with insanely dangerous dinos. But my goal is to catch every single one, starting from the tiny plant eaters to the deadliest predators that just straight up eat you in like a second, and build my own prehistoric zoo for them. But the big thing, I'm gonna raise my own genetic monster out of all the dinos. So when I launched the survival mode, I just spawned like who even knows where. The whole world was just one giant jungle biome, like trees and rivers everywhere. Yeah, I literally feel like some kind of caveman monkey or whatever. Then the local dinos pulled up on me right away. But when I got closer to one, turns out dude was not friendly. Back up, you stupid lizard! I started punching a tree, but then I realized, nope, I can't even do that. Turns out that this Minecraft mechanic just doesn't work in this prehistoric world. So to craft even the most basic tools, I had to go first pick up these little sticks, which lucky me were all over the ground. Then break some grass to get some plant fibers, and find flint, which drops from gravel, and I gotta smash it on a rock. And once I slapped all that junk together, I finally crafted a prehistoric shovel and axe, a cursed knife, and a pickaxe. Let's go! I'm not some broke-ass hobo anymore. I'm like an actual caveman now. Or maybe still a monkey? Drop it in the comments. So now that I'm a legit prehistoric dude, I finally chopped some trees and tested out my prehistoric knife on a few pigs. Then I hit the caves to get some iron, cause without armor in this world, I'm just flat out dead. Yo, where did you come from? In just 2 days, I managed to grab like 1.5 stacks of iron, which I used to craft myself some iron tools and a full iron set. Let's go! Welcome to the new Iron Age. But right when I climbed out of the caves, a whole pack of dinos jumped me. I had to dip hard. I was down to like half a heart. No, bro, stop, chill. No, stop. What? Okay, yeah, so that was almost game over, but I somehow made it out. Basically, I realized I was just not safe at all. Like, any dino could totally wipe me. So the one genius idea I had was to go build a base where I could grind up and heal up my HP. But first, I just wanted this cursed day to end already, so I grabbed some wool and went to bed. Next morning, I started clearing out land for my future base. Yo, look who we got here. Bro, help me please. Of course I used jungle wood for the base because it was like growing all over the place. So I started trying to build something that at least looked cool. And yeah, it took me a few days. Anyway, the base was finally done. And before this spider dies, let me tell you my game plan really quick. My goal is to catch 14 types of dinos, which I split into 3 levels: easy, medium, and hard. And the most important thing, I'm gonna raise my own king of all dinosaurs. Something so scary it'll make anyone who sees it totally freak out. Alright, time to start collecting the easy dinos first. And right around the corner, I got jump scared by this giant dude. But luckily, he wasn't even aggressive. Found out later that it was a Gallimimus. Name's kind of weird, not gonna lie, but turns out this thing could run like 40 miles per hour back in the day. Bro, just imagine, he was running so fast, no way you'd ever catch up. But in Minecraft, he's like totally defenseless, just runs from literally anything. So I was like, nah, I ain't gonna hurt him, just trapped him in a boat. Then I zoomed him back to our base real quick. Sorry dude, no cage for you yet, guess you're chilling in here for now. Meanwhile, I started clearing out a spot for the first cage. But while I was building, I only had enough stuff for like the frame. I didn't even get to make the iron bars yet. Back off, dude. So yeah, for now the cage is kind of weak, but I'm totally upgrading it later. But let's go ahead and drop our first dino in there. Boom, Gallimimus may chill here. And before we jump back in, I've got a big hardcore update for you. Now you can actually become a channel sponsor and unlock some exclusive perks. And hey, if you want to see your name pop up in my next videos, this is your chance to support the channel and join the crew. Now time to go hunt for more. And then like near sunset, boom, miracle moment. Guys, y'all seeing this? I found a brand new herbivore, Triceratops. Dude's got like this mega bony armor on his neck, and those OP horns even T-Rex is scared of. But like for real, he's chill and just eats grass. But when he rammed me with that horn, I was like, yeah, never mind, not so chill. I tried to boat this big boy, but yeah, that didn't work. So only option left, try putting him in a minecart. And bruh, his whole squad just started kicking me all over the place. But I finally caught the small one out of the group, zoomed him right to his brand new home, and now the cage has got 2 dinos, but like, they kinda hate each other. So I named them Patrick and Squidward. And to make them BFFs for real, I planted each a tropical tree. Nope, didn't help, not even a little. Well, okay then. Anyway, I'm off to find a whole new kind of dino now. Suddenly, I hear this super familiar scream. Turns out a pack of velociraptors just attacked a bunch of tiny bird dinos. And when I ran from them, I ran into the same baby bird dinos again. And these were a new easy dino called Microraptor. They had super low HP and damage, but they could fly. Yo, little dude, wait, dang. How am I even gonna catch you? Looks like I'm in trouble again. To catch this Microraptor, I had to wait until it landed, but instead of hopping in my boat, they just spread their wings and stood there, totally still. So I tried putting them back in the cart, but yeah, that didn't work either. Seriously, I don't know, these birds are totally bugged. Then suddenly I got this super genius idea, but the local mobs weren't having it at all. Oh snap, I think I'm about to rage quit right now. So after fending off all of that madness, I crafted a lead and finally caught my first Microraptor. And just when I was about to take it home, I realized I'd been running around without armor for like 10 minutes. And while I was dodging mobs till morning, this little feather dude kept following me around. And I had no clue what kind of trouble awaited me once I got it home. Turns out I'd used all of my iron on the railway to deliver a Triceratops. So for the next 3 days, I was stuck in these prehistoric caves. Come on, bonehead, a little more and I'll break your bow. Oh crap, cobweb, let me go. I crafted new iron armor and started building a new cage for our bird dino. One with a closed roof on top, you know, so it can't escape. And while our Microraptor tried smashing the glass and getting out, I already found something really legendary. For real, this is like a Loch Ness monster. They call it Elasmosaurus. This dino already had some solid damage and health, and a totally unique neck it used to catch fish. But I guess it didn't mind snacking on people too. So catching this thing was a total nightmare. And dang, it even had some homies trying to knock me off the boat. But luckily I found a baby I managed to trap. And I threw it in a cart super quick and brought it home by morning. But the thing is, a water dino like this also needs a water cage. So we do some montage magic and bam! Feed this little guy some fish so he grows into a real Loch Ness monster. And while he was growing, I went hunting for new dinos. But back then, I couldn't even believe I'd see a huge Brachiosaurus with my own eyes. No way, it's massive. This dino was the biggest of all the dinos you can find. But at the same time, it was super chill and didn't attack anyone, like a total chill guy. As soon as I put this giant in a small little cart, I noticed looks like its buddy too, called a Stegosaurus. Its main thing was this huge armor and spikes on its tail it could totally defend itself with. But this dino had super weak stats and was totally an herbivore. So we sent it with its buddy to the easy dino cage. But man, this cage seems way too small for these giant dinos. But like this, now we're talking way better. So now we locked up all the easy dinos, and pretty soon I'll grow my biggest mega boss of all dinos. But first, we gotta catch some mid-level dinos. And the thing is, these creatures aren't gonna be easy to catch. So just to be safe, I upgraded my armor and weapons to diamond. And now, like every morning, we go hunting for dinos. Crap, I attacked the wrong one. I said the wrong one. On the way, I heard some super weird sounds. But there was no one around except pigs, and one was taking damage for some reason. Later, I found out it was being eaten by a new type of dino called Compsognathus. Back in the Jurassic period, these guys were tiny and super weak, but their thing was attacking in packs, which helped them survive and get into the top dinos. These little guys even managed to reach me. Had to hide in a tree from this gang of savage little dudes, and then carefully take out their whole pack so I could finally catch one in the boat. What? Not so cool without your homies? I safely brought it back to base and started building its new cage right away. For a while, I was thinking what to name it, and then I got the idea Spiky, because it's kind of aggressive, like it's all spiky. But that was nothing compared to the monsters I'd run into next. So, ladies and dudes, meet the Dilophosaurus, the same spit shooter from Jurassic Park. As you can see, it's got average stats, but its scary look and blinding spit, oh man, it was a total pain. So I didn't mess around and quickly shoved it in a cage. Because of its toxic vibes, we're calling it Dichlorvosaurus. Here, have some meat to munch on. Oh, jeez, what an unruly jerk. I've never seen such toxic dinos in Minecraft before. Now let's catch that same Velociraptor, the one that caused me so much trouble at the start of survival. Even though it's small, this lizard has pretty solid stats. And with pack attacks, these little guys are basically unstoppable. Even diamond armor ain't gonna save you from a herd like this. Guys, stop! And yeah, I almost died for a sec, but I still figured out I can actually beat them. So I took out half of the squad one by one, and for the next batch, I set up a minecart trap. And bam, one of them fell right in. Even though its homies were trying to smack me, I still managed to drag this dude all the way to the new zoo. Here, have some meat. Oh, at least this one doesn't spit and actually eats. Finding the next dino, though, took me a few days. And finally, I found the lair of a real monster. Back then, I didn't even know dinos could live in caves. And the one called Ceratosaurus proved me wrong. Cause this night predator hits hard. Straight up Jurassic period demon. I waited for night so it'd leave its lair. And it just jumped me right away. Like, who was dumb enough to call this a medium dino? And honestly, I could have killed it, but the thing is, we need this beauty alive, because there were no relatives left in its cave. Anyway, you already know my dino catching strategy, so let's get out of here! Okay, I actually dug a pit for it at night and lured this whining demon right in. So while it was stuck in the pit, I could chill and build its closure, and then very nervously lure it inside. Only had one heart left when I dodged its deadly bite. And I barely figured out how to lock this insane creature up. Oh, and I named it Kitty. Like what? Drop a comment if you name a death monster like this. And that was our last medium dino. And that's basically what our prehistoric zoo looks like so far. I even cleaned up my chests in my house for the occasion. Alright, now we're off to hunt some hard dinos. And super fast, I found one of them. It's an Ankylosaurus, or as some call it, the Armored Fortress. With those super armored plates under its skin, it's not scared of predators at all. With that armor and tons of health, it's basically unbeatable among dinos. And that tail, like a giant mace, oh, you don't want to know how much it hurts when it smashes you. It wouldn't let anything come within 5 blocks of it. And arrows, forget it, they don't do a thing. And it's not just hard to catch, killing it is impossible. I had to search the entire internet to finally find a way. First, it's got one weak spot. Second, you can make some pretty sick armor from its bones. So since this dino is super weak to fire, I crafted a bunch of burning spears. And eventually, I managed to take it down. And boom! So how's my new armor? Looks pretty dope, I'd say. Fits the prehistoric vibe for sure. Plus, it actually protects way better than netherite armor. But now we gotta find a new Ankylosaurus for our zoo. So I kept hunting this type. And after taming one of them, I brought home our first hard dino. By day 46, I had it set up in my place. I didn't think of anything better than calling it Mason. And with new armor and fresh energy, I went out hunting more dinos. For a few days, I only found dinos we'd already seen, but finally I found some heavy artillery among these lizards. Mosasaurus, that's the one everyone was scared to see when they got near water back in prehistoric times. The deadliest water dino with huge health and even crazier damage. This fish even bit through my boat. How the heck am I gonna catch this giant? I tried putting it in a cart, but got straight up slapped around instead. Tried surrounding it with blocks, but even from far away, it could still hit me. So the only real move was to dig its river straight to my base. But digging was super long and boring, so I farmed some gunpowder and grabbed a bunch of sand to finally craft TNT and made a massive bada boom. That's how I extended the river from the dino right up to my base. I even cleared the path so it wouldn't get lost anywhere. And I used myself as bait to finally drag this guy home. Spent a few more days building in a cage too. Oh, great, you jerk! I freaking hate these things. But yeah, despite all the chaos, I got this bloop in the cage. So that's the second hard dino added to our zoo. By the way, I named this sea god Jamal. And then I straight up went and cried. Because I had no clue how I'd catch the next dino. I grabbed all the best gear I had, and in the morning I went hunting. Because I had to show you this monster. Yep, well, known to everyone, Tyrannosaurus. Its insane stats made every living thing shake, and its crazy jaws would crunch heads like they were cookies. No, bro, I'm not losing my hardcore world yet. No, please. Gotta stay the heck away from these deadly monsters, just to stay alive at least. But seeing as I had to catch it, and it bites so hard that even armor ain't helping, so I decided to catch him with a secret method. For that, I had to go down into the mine and smack a bunch of mobs, and finally get some prehistoric redstone, which let me make an awesome dart gun and some tranquilizer darts too. And all that was left was to make a flat spot to trap our T-Rex. But in like a second, this thing jumped me and bit me. Oh crap, gotta run. I led him up the mountain where he kinda stopped for a second. And now from here, I could start using my dart gun. No, back off. Oh, he's finally down. While he was sleeping like a baby, I super fast started building a railway around him. But at some point, he woke up. So I had to jab him with another tranquilizer, and he passed out again. And finally, on the second try, I got him into the minecart. For a king of dinosaurs like this, I built my own cage. And only on the 70th day did I put him inside. So now all the hard dinos are finally locked up, which means we only have one thing left: catch the one and only genetic monster called Indominus Rex, the final boss made just for killing. It can change color, super smart, and kills just for fun. And since it can eat a Triceratops in one bite, getting close to the trap is just impossible, especially on hardcore mode. So the only way to get it into our zoo is take it down for good. And that's why I decided to do it the safest way possible. First, I smashed all the mobs around, then slept sweetly till morning. And right away, I knocked out this Indominus, dug a hole under him, and stuffed it with way more TNT. Moment of truth, he's about to get what's coming to him. What? No, where do you think you're going? No! Lucky for me, he fell into the explosion crater, and I'm still alive. So while this beast was trapped, I quickly made myself a prehistoric pistol and bullets for it, because that was basically my only option now. I started blasting him, but even 16 shots couldn't take him down. So I pulled out my secret trick and crafted some poisonous bullets. Shot 15 more poison rounds at him, and finally this impossible dino boss got totally wrecked. And as a reward for killing this monster, we got a whole bag of bones. But still, this was just the start of our adventure with this monster. Cause now from its bones, we can grow our own Indominus Rex. But the biggest problem is that hatching an Indominus egg goes through 7 lab setups. And my base doesn't even have a hint of any of those lab thingies. So I immediately started checking crafting recipes and ended up making a full list of all the stuff that I would need for my future genetic lab. So I spent a few days in the mine gathering all of the materials, crafted a ton of different gear, set everything up nice in my base, and that's how the lab finally came together. And now we can start growing Indominus Rex's genetic material. First, I saved its DNA on this disc, put it into a DNA solution, and turned that solution into a syringe to fertilize an egg. Injected it into a chicken egg, and now we have an Indominus Rex egg, which we cannot break because it still has to grow in the incubator. for a whole 3 days. So to not waste time, I immediately started building a cage for the future baby Indominus. Our Indominus is gonna be super special. So I made its cage kind of crazy too. I decided to check the incubator and the egg had started cracking. All right guys, moment of truth. Let's hatch our Indominus. Oh yeah, for now he's super tiny and weak. But now to grow this baby into a real boss of all dinosaurs, I'd have to feed him at least 7 days straight. But like in 7 days, I could do so much other stuff. Honestly, I was kind of lazy, so I decided to automate it with a feeder. This super OP thing spits out the loaded meat like every 5 minutes. And while our little Indominus was gaining his strength, I needed something to do, so I started building another secret building. Also, I collected the dino bones I had gathered before, turned them into eggs, and put them in the incubator to hatch. Well guys, this is for making an epic final. On day 86, I finished building my secret building. Drop a comment if you already guessed what. Kid, where'd you get that sword, punk? I went to check on our Indominus, and he grew just a tiny little bit. So I had some other baby dinos too, so they could grow. I also made a skeleton assembly table where I could turn all the dino bones into skeleton, which I put in my dino skeleton museum. Hit like if you immediately guessed why I built this. But to max out my museum, I still had to find 9 more skeletons. So I went hunting for some fresh bones. Whew, all right, I finished my museum. I hope my grind deserves your like. Meanwhile, our Indominus grew and somehow climbed out of his cage. I bolted after my dart gun to put it to sleep, but this monster snuck over to the T-Rex cage and knocked him down. And turns out that was just the start. My eyes caught the Ankylosaurus walking right behind the T-Rex cage. And as it turns out, Indominus decided to pay him a visit first. But that insane armor on his shell saved him, and Indominus lost interest in him as prey. But you guys also saw how Indominus smashes other dino cages. This deadly predator was already putting my whole prehistoric zoo at risk. So I had to go all out. Remember those velociraptors were tiny lizards not long ago? But now I've tamed them, and they're gonna help me protect our zoo from this monster. Plus, I kinda wanted to reenact this scene from Jurassic Park, and having my own gang of pet velociraptors, that's just insanely cool. When I got to the spot where I last saw Indominus, he was gone, like completely vanished. I was starting to think he just bailed, but a second later I heard him wrecking the Dilophosaurus cage. Not wasting a second, I grabbed my gun and ran with my Velociraptor squad to attack. Guys, go, fight him, go. Go! Fight him, man! I raised you, stupid lizard! I'm gonna take you down! No! My little raptor! No! But that heroic raptor's death really pissed off the other two, and they started a full-on attack. Yo! He fell! What? Well, with only a few losses, our zoo was totally saved. A few more days and I was fixing all the mess Indominus left behind. Laid down paths all over the place, and I built a huge Indominus Rex head over my house. And from the bones of the dinos he bit, I raised tiny new ones. So now I can say I built the whole prehistoric zoo in 100 days. And yeah, I was actually gonna end it there, but a new update dropped with a new mutated dino. And this thing is like 10 times scarier and stronger than Indominus Rex. And I just had to show you this beast. And to catch it, I had to switch to version 1.21, because that's the only version with this dino. Since it's super strong, I decided to build its cage out of obsidian blocks. And when everything was ready, the only problem was I still had to find this dino. And let me tell you, that was not easy. Actually, it wasn't anywhere. I searched all of these endless jungles, crawled through every huge prehistoric cave, and it wasn't even in the ocean. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know why I was looking here. And just when I was about to give up, I suddenly heard this. Oh, snap. Not sure about you guys, but I kind of freaked out a little bit. And in the next sec, I saw this huge, dangerous giant smashing through every single tree just to get to me. I ran as fast as I could, but it cleared so much stuff that I ended up in an open area. I even chugged a speed potion, but this thing still clawed me up with its sharp claws. Despite all of that, I tried to push it toward the cage, so I was risking losing all of my progress right then. And at the last second, even landed a critical hit on me. Just look at how much I'm bleeding. I had to go and run and heal up. Also, I only had one speed potion left, and I had to use it in like a sec. All I had to do was lure it across this bridge and be done, but this dumb creature fell in the water. So I had to bait it again to get it out of the water. Come on, come here, little kitty. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Come on. Oh, dang. No. Yeah. Looks like I'm in a safe corner. Whew. Anyways, I survived and caught the monster. That's what matters. And look at who we caught. Wow. This mutated dino's name is Distortus Rex. And right now, it's the strongest monster of all dinos. I can even feed it a chicken like it's a pet cat. So yeah, this vid is definitely over. Drop a comment on which dino was your favorite. This was Caster. Thanks for watching and catch you next time.